With anime becoming a global success, everyone and their mother wants a slice of the pie, the same way cats want fish. Meaning there's that much more anime for us, the viewers, but also so much more competition. Thus, it's no surprise that Crunchyroll, the biggest anime streamer in the West, would choose to promote the absolute shit out of whatever it considered to be the next big hit, and Kaiju number 8 is just that anime. This is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Wearing its Attack on Titan, My Hero, and Fire Force inspiration on its sleeve ensured that it would come out the gate swinging, but the stellar anime adaptation Kaiju has received led to the crafting of the perfect anime cocktail to create one of the best anime this year. At least until the weird-ass deer anime comes out. So of course Crunchyroll guaranteed it'd be massive by giving it the royal treatment like it's never done before. From airing it live on Twitter to having a special live stream-esque premiere for every new episode, and even giving it its very own countdown timer. So basically everything Netflix didn't do for Record of Ragnarok.
Microwave.
All things that are foreign for a typical anime, as some of them literally don't even get licensed despite their high quality, but I'm not here to tell you that Kaiju doesn't deserve it, because goddamn does it, as it truly feels like a proper new-gen anime with what it chooses to take inspiration from, while also filling the gap left behind by the coming departure of manga like My Hero Academia and Jujutsu Kaisen. You are my special. It starts with a slow open that really sells the details of the world without a lick of dialogue, exemplifying that it knows perfectly well how to show and not tell, merely by displaying that all of the stop signs have a sign specifically for Kaiju, before then having a giant alligator monster emerge and start wrecking the city. Hey wait, that's just Florida. And because it's Florida, the crack fiends swoop in to defend their precious utopia from the vicious gator under the name of the Defense Force, because crackheads need jobs too, all while some epic and fitting music play in tune with its demise. And then later the main character cleans up its shit. The unique part about this show is that it focuses on Kafka, a 30-year-old loser who's given up on his dreams and resigned himself to be a janitor, rather than focusing on your usual younger 16-year-old protagonist. But that's what makes Kafka unique, because he's already told himself that he can't succeed and has accepted the fact that his life is a nothing burger, which is something a lot of people of any age can relate to, just like you hitting the subscribe button. But the anime still introduces the more typically aged protag in the form of Reno, who convinces Kafka to give the Defense Force one more try after forming the most adorable friendship with him. And that's honestly where most stories would carry forward from, but then Kafka gets thrown by whatever this is.
What's that, brother?
Turns into a kaiju and then decimates his opponents. Yeah, she gets wild. The best part is that all of that happens in just the first episode, and it only gets better from there while maintaining the same core concepts it introduced with Kafka and Reno, delving deeper into its large cast of characters while continuing to play with its show not tell motif by introducing a bunch of them at one time, knowing that you won't care about any of them except for this one. Give her a little bit of that before quickly remedying that by showcasing their rivalries amongst each other, effectively pairing them up because it serves as an easier visual way to remember all of these different people and grow attached to them because of the different ways they play off each other, while simultaneously being a perfect way to develop their characters without putting the story on hold to give each one a sad backstory. And when they do opt to give you a deeper dive, it's done quickly and seamlessly, like how they tell you everything you need to know about Kafka in the first 9 minutes of episode 1, while never missing a beat and still world building at the same time, illustrating all the while that he's just like every other burned out late 20-year-old, saying how life isn't that bad because he can eat and buy whatever he wants, consistently trying to look on the bright side no matter how childish the reasoning he comes up with, despite the fact that he constantly looks back and regrets his decisions, yet never has the willpower and confidence to move forward and try again. Unless it's for her. It's able to capture so much in so little time because it knows how to use its visual medium to its fullest extent, in tandem with proper pacing, respecting your time while also showing you that it deserves your time. At no point info dumping you details that you can't naturally pick up by watching, like the difference between a Honju and a Yoju. One's bigger than the other! Instead, respecting your intelligence and allowing you to figure it out, just like I respect you clicking the like button, and that's in addition to its subtle world building in Kaiju lore, where it drops several clues for how long the Kaiju have been around, but never directly exposits those details to you, because figuring it out naturally is like finally beating an Elden Ring boss.
Let's go! We dragons!
And that's very easy to do when they drop hints and character backstories that they've been fighting them for centuries, which begs the question as to what exactly were the Kaiju doing during 2001? A second plane just hit the North Tower. The production is largely what contributes to this all being possible when coupled with the foundation that is the manga, with expressive character animation that really helps accentuate the comedic scenes and a penchant for 2D kaiju to the point of rarely utilizing CG. Going even further beyond with directing that makes great use of POV shots to illustrate distance, while doubling as a clever way to not fully animate the kaiju, in addition to more unique angles like betwixt a kaiju's decapitated corpse.
Are you sure about that?
By putting meticulous care and detail into every facet of the anime, just about every scene is amplified, whether it be the OST having badass guitars to kill monsters to in one scene, or an ever so slight musical homage to Godzilla's iconic theme in another. And the way it precariously balances so many tonally different things at once is in a league all its own. Like how it goes from some of the best comedy you'll see in a shonen anime to a scene straight out of a horror film in a genre you'd never expect it from, with the framing of a crying girl, her dying mom, and a hungry monster being so well done that you can't help but feel a sense of dread and fear for the worst, putting you directly in the character's shoes right before the hero swoops in and saves the day like a total badass, perfectly representing what a shonen anime is and what makes this show so great. The fact that the animation barely drops in quality as it goes on is not only rare, but also icing on the cake, leaving the anime with very few flaws to the point where most criticism stems from the immature way in which Kafka acts despite his age. But that's not an objective innate flaw of the series, as it's been established that Kafka is the jolly uncle, always looking on the bright side and having fun with the kids. But not like Dr. Disrespect.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on sex assault charges.
That isn't to say the anime is perfect, as there are some flaws, but they're rather small, such as in this scene where the anime visually communicates that Best Girl is looking for approval from her father and hints that she's neglected, which explains why she latches onto the father figure in Kafka,
Hi, Daddy.
all through just a few words of dialogue and the expression she's wearing, yet they then still opt to give her a flashback anyway to verbally explain it when it really wasn't needed. But even that is more nitpicking than anything and matters very little in the grand scheme of things, especially when it's so goddamn cool. It constantly subverts your expectations and the tropes of the shonen genre by never delivering on the hype moments when you expect them to, showcased in just about every scene where you're waiting for Kafka to transform and save the day, but he just doesn't. Which is great because it allows for other characters to flourish, best exemplified by the anime hyping up Best Girl and then properly delivering on that hype with all of her respective badass moments. Something that's very refreshing when so many anime tend to make excuses for their main character to show off, instead of allowing them to be a loser underdog like Kaiju does. When it does finally feed into the tropes, it does so masterfully with some of the coolest battles you'll ever see, from screaming away and attack Naruto style to fighting through a town AOT style, wearing its inspirations with pride. And when coupled with the fact that the anime can be both a well thought out story told with intention and a pure action hype shonen, it ensures that you'll never grow bored, making it not only one of the coolest shonen anime you'll ever watch, but also a modern day classic.